Hi, welcome to my channel. Welcome back if it's not your first time here. If it's your first time, I say a special welcome to all of you. It's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for making this channel a place that you visit from time to time. Today, I want to share with you 7 lessons I've learned living in another country for the last 7 months. I hope something in these lessons that you can get. That if you're planning to travel and to live abroad for any reason, or maybe you're thinking about it, you have no plans as yet, just some things to bear in mind when you're thinking about leaving to go to another country. The first lesson: if you are not a diplomat, or you're not an ambassador, or you don't have some high post in your country, but you had, a title, you had a status, you had something that you were called in your country. When you go to another man's land, you start from zero. You are nobody and nothing until you start establishing connections. Remember that, because sometimes that will shock you. You go to a place, you go to a church, nobody recognizes you, nobody knows you. You go to a community, and nobody stops to say hello. You are accustomed of saying hello in your country. You might say hello to someone, they may not answer you. Who are you? You wonder, boy, am I the same person? Yes, you are. Just remember, you're in a foreign country, and people and cultures and thoughts and behaviors may differ from that in your country. So just bear that in mind. That's lesson number 1 that I'm sharing with you. The second lesson that I want to share with you: technology can be both a friend and it can be an enemy. Technology can be both a friend and an enemy. I say that to mean that it helps you to stay connected to the ones that you want to connect with, those that you left behind, those who you just want to keep in touch with, former colleagues, your family, your friends, and even just things that are happening in your country. So it has its plus. But then it also has some negatives, because sometimes you will find that technology makes it possible for you to go on social media, go on various platforms that will either uplift your spirit or they will break your spirit, especially as they promote things that pertain to your country. If you love your country, no matter where you are, there are times that the news, the things that you hear, will really try to break your spirit. And even to take it a little further, sometimes the things that people say about you as a person who migrated to another country, yes, even if they don't know you, they put you in a broad bracket. The comments that citizens, people from your country, you could say fellow natives, fellow nationals might say about you or about people who travel and live abroad will break your heart. But remember that you have your purpose, you have a reason why you left or why you're in another country, why you're there for a period of time. You know how long you're going to be there, or probably you don't know how long you're going to be there, but you're probably planning to get back to your country at some point anyway, because you know the only home you truly have is your homeland, your country. But people try to make you feel guilty for leaving your country. Bear that in mind. So technology is great. It has its plus, it has its pros, but it also can be an enemy, because it is through the platform that it enables, technology enables, that causes you to sometimes see those things that will hurt your heart, break your spirit. So I thought I would plug that in there. Lesson number 3: when you migrate from your country, many people will be happy for you, and many will not be so happy with you and for you. And they will go to the extent to criticize your decision, and even they will try to oppress you, even from a distance, oppress your name, oppress your history, oppress the impact that you may have had on your country, your community, because they may not be pleased that you make a decision that you've made. I won't go into specifics, but I will say that I do know of situations where people have worked extremely hard in their country, and when their names came up for things that they should be recognized for, they will truck. They will, as if their memory wants, people want to erase their memory from the minds of the many people, the many lives that they may have impacted in the country. So sometimes you as a person who may have given your heart and soul to your country before you left could easily be oppressed, even in the outs, even while being on the external, even while being in another country, even while being in another place, trying to make a living or trying to do something different, a different experience, a different growth process, just a difference. So I want to say to you, always remember who you are and be true to yourself. Because at the end of the day, the people who criticize your decision, they're not putting bread on your table. They are not putting food in your mouth. They are not giving you a place to sleep. Neither are they paying your bills. They're not paying your mortgage. They're not paying your vehicle if you have a vehicle mortgage either. They're not helping your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. They're not the ones carrying your weight. You know why. You make your decision. So be true to yourself. Stay focused until it's time for you to decide, I'm going to go back to my land. And when you go back to your country, they will remind you that you left. But remember who you are. And that your navel, as we say, your navel, in the older people, your navel string, well, your navel string, if you're born Dominican, if you're born from your country, your navel string was buried in your country and you belong there. People will say what they want. They will castigate you for picking up and go because they don't understand your decisions. They don't have all the information, rather, about your situation. And they expect you to come and give them an explanation. But let me tell you, you owe nobody any explanation for the decision that you made to get up and to go if you decided to do so. You have a free will as an individual, and I'm sure they have a free will if they want to live tomorrow. So don't be guilty. Don't let people make you feel guilty for getting up and go. If you got an opportunity and you feel, I can do this, I want to do this. Ever since time, even before our time, people traveled. Christopher Columbus traveled and met people in islands, in Dominica, in all other islands. So people moved. He moved for him to have met people there, although he says he that discovered. That's a different story. But the point I'm making is people traveled long before. Many of us know our grandparents, our uncles, or grand aunts, people like this, who got up from their countries, not just in our little islands, but even other parts of the bigger parts of the world, where they got up and they went to other nations for different reasons. And some, yes, to try to make a better living for themselves. Is it that their country was to the brink of finishing? Not necessarily, but they saw other opportunities. They had brighter ideas. They probably thought that the goals that they have would be better achieved if they traveled, and so they did. So you have no explanation to give anybody as to why you got up and go or why you made the decision to take another opportunity to explore, to try something different. You have absolutely you owe nobody any explanation on that. Just remember, be true to who you are, be strong with your decision, and also ensure that your purpose, your reason for migrating is being materialized in the best of ways. Not in the negative, but very importantly, in the best of ways, in the most positive ways that you possibly can. No amount of, number four, no amount of distance can ever erase the memory of the people you love from your heart, from your mind. None at all. That can be a deep wound needing to be healed, yes, because it's not going away so easily. The people we love, the people we care about, no amount of distance can erase these people from our hearts. We will still try to reach out, we will still try to be in touch with them, we will still keep the memories of them in our hearts. And sometimes be prepared for that one. You will cry. You will cry many times. Your heart will be broken many times. You will feel like packing up and going home in quick time many times. If you love your country, if you love your family, if you love your pet, if you love, if you there are things, the familiar that you are accustomed with, it is gonna be hard when you decide, okay, I'm making this move and I'm going to be in this other country. It is going to be a hard patch. Only if you love. If you decided you're going to throw stones behind your back when you leave your country, you won't feel those things. Probably not. Unless if you really cling to one or two people and you still care about them, even if you throw stones. There are people who throw stones and never look back, not even at the people they left at the back, right? In their countries. But if you love people, if you care about the people in your life, No amount of distance, no amount of miles that you cross, no amount of seas and oceans that you may have passed through for you to get to where you are away from your land will erase the memory and the memories that you made of them, and the fact that they matter to you and they mean a lot to you, and they're part of your life and of your heartstring. So they will continue to pull at your heartstring. And so be prepared to deal with it. Be prepared for the pain. Be prepared for the loss, the sense of loss and separation. And these are real things, real things that stir up real emotions in us. And as human being, if you feel, you will cry, you will hurt, and you will some days want to just say, no, I can't do this. I'm going to pack up. I'm going back home. It's life. We can do that. And if you want to go home, you go home because it's your country anyway. People might say what they want. At the end of the day, it's your country, it's your life, and you can decide if you want to go or if you want to stay. But I will tell you, the last 7 months have taught me that sometimes you will feel broken and want to get up and go back to your home, go back to the familiar, go back to where you feel like this is home. This is home. Absolutely no other place is home but where you know to be your home. I tell you, nothing can erase your love for your nation if you really love your nation. Nothing, no distance, no time. So, very close to your heart, you know that somewhere hold you very close to my heart, very close to your heart, you will, you will keep your country, you will keep your loved ones, you will keep the people who are dear to you. Be prepared for the pain, but as time goes by, your emotions will heal a bit better. You will start getting a little bit more clarity. You will understand that there is a purpose why you are not where you would like to be. You have lives to touch, you have your passion to fulfill, you have your dreams to work through, but you will continue to long for home and continue to long to see and to be with the people that you love. And so, if you can, you keep telling yourself, if you can do it for 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, you can endure a little more until the time you get the opportunity to go and see those loved ones again. And I hope it's a case where you're saying, yes, I must go and see these loved ones again when God give me the opportunity to. And not me, I'm not going back there. Me, I throw stones behind my back. Everybody has different circumstances, and I respect it. But I would say never throw stones at your back when it comes to your country. You may throw stones at your back when it comes to people, certain people in your life, not to go back to them, not to allow them into your space or your personal space. But when it comes to your country, remember, home is home. Never. We belong nowhere else, especially now. If we see how the world is rolling, there's no country that is your home like your country. None at all. And I've learned that, and I'm learning that more and more. Not that I didn't know that before, because I mean, this is not my first rodeo to travel. I lived in the United States for almost 4 years studying when I was doing my bachelor's. So it's not a case where I don't know what it is to feel those emotions and what it is to be away from home. But when you go off to study to get a degree, you know that's what you want to do and you're going to go back. But when you leave to go to another country because you're working there and it almost becomes like the place where you live, it is easy to tend to think, oh, I'm not going to think about. Yeah, you have to think about home because home is home. And no other place will ever be home. So you remember, home is home, no other place will ever be home. So don't throw stones behind your back because you never know. The way the world is rolling, home will call and you may have to go. All right? So remember that part as well. No amount of distance will ever erase the memory of the people you love, and I can say of the country that you love. Nothing can erase that. Number 5, stay connected to your local news and the things that are happening in your country. Many people would like to forget, but I believe it pays to do that. Now, granted, I said earlier that sometimes the news can break your heart, but you still need to know what's happening in your country. Stay connected. And one of the things that I found is that when I stay connected, when I listen to the radio stations from home, online platform, um, whenever I connect with them and what is going on, it helps me to feel close to home. It helps me to feel as if I'm there and to be able to communicate with what is happening and about what is happening in my country. So stay connected with what is happening. Try to still find out what is going on. Don't just say, well, that is Dominica, or that is Grenada, or that is St. Vincent, or that is so and so. No. Think about the fact that you belong to a country, and it's important. It's important for you to know what is going on there. How can you help? How can you still be in contact? How can you be a support for somebody? What it is you can do to make a difference. And so I think it's vital that we stay connected to what is happening in our country. I like to know what's happening. So I try to listen to the news in the mornings. I can't say that I've listened every morning because honestly, based on what's happening in the morning, how quickly, things happen before you get to work or before you start your day, you may not always, but I try to catch up maybe in the evening when I get home, see if there was any live broadcast of anything that happened in the country and try to, stay up to. And the other thing is if you don't stay informed, you find that you will read and hear and observe certain things on social media that may not necessarily be factual, that may not necessarily be the actual thing that happened or the actual full story. And so it's important for you to listen, read maybe the different platforms, listen to the different perspectives of different radio stations, and to get an idea of what is going on. But I would say try to stay in the know then as it pertains to what's happening in your country. Don't just forget. Don't just go along as if your country does not exist anymore. Number 6, be open to first of all setting aside your idea about yourself. Yes, and what you know. And I will explain this. So you have to try to be true about yourself and you have to try to start a new page. Let me tell you something, or a new slate. This is a hard one. So you came from your country as a professional, you have your skills, your knowledge, your experience, and you go to a place ready because you have what it is you can offer and deliver. I have news for you. Because of the difference in culture, in practice, in styles, in beliefs, and so many other things, all of them falling under the caption of culture, most of them rather, falling under the caption of culture, if you think about it, you will have to sometimes almost let go of what you know, let go of your experience, the knowledge, not necessarily forgetting them, but putting them down as if you have an armor in your hand, or a sword, or a cutlass, or a shield, or a book, whatever it is, and you take it and you put it down and you say, okay, give me an empty page, please. And let me start to observe and write what it is on a fresh page, what I should bear in mind. Because in truth and in fact, I thought that I was ready and I'm not. That's what you're going to find out. Ready in the sense that nothing prepares us. Nothing will prepare you for the newness that you're about to meet. Nothing will prepare you for the disarming that you might have to experience prior to picking up your ammunition again and joining your ammunition with the new set of tools that you would have to start working with. And tools here could be tangible as well as intangible. But the point I'm making is be prepared to learn, be open to learning. Don't go as if you know it all. No, because we don't know it all. We don't. And sometimes what we know may not be suitable for that place. Some of it, in the first instance, may not necessarily be suitable. Or maybe how we know it may not necessarily be the same way that we have to deliver it. We may have to learn or adapt or fix it up or tweak it in order for it to suit the new place that we're going. So that is why I say be prepared to lay down your knowledge, lay down your skills, everything you think you know, go put them flat for a while, stay on the low and observe. Observe by listening more, speaking less. Observe by taking your notes. Observe by not folding your arms, but being actively listening to what is happening around you, what is going on, what is being said, what is not being said, and also what it is that you can take in order to merge with what you know, in order to make the final product what it ought to be. I know it sounds a little complicated, but I think the point is be prepared to step aside. Be prepared not to just go in like a bulldozer, but wait, observe, and then act. Okay? This is an old lesson that we learned when we were growing up. Stop, listen, act. Right? It's the same. It's the same concept pretty much. The final lesson, out of many lessons, but the seventh one, because I did promise seven. So number seven, be patient with you. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Yes. Give yourself grace. Because often you may feel somewhat lost. You may feel stupid. You may even doubt yourself. Yeah. You may doubt yourself and feel that sense of self doubt, as they say. And as a result, you may want to just second guess even your own potential. So, yes, so even while you have to lay down what you know, it's important for you to recognize that you have to also remain confident about who you are as a person and not doubt yourself because you will feel that sometimes, right? Give yourself grace, be patient with yourself. Tap yourself on the back when something good worked out. And when something is not good and you cry and you get frustrated, look yourself in the mirror and try to tell yourself that too will go away. That time, you know how that they say, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. Well, these two shall pass. Those bad moments will pass, okay? And you will rise. But there are many lessons, many lessons in life that we will learn when we move from one place to another. It takes a brave man, a brave woman, a strong man, a strong woman to make a bold move and to say, I'm getting up and go. I'm going to try something new. I'm prepared to risk it in order to try. And it reminds me of the disciples, by the way, the St. Pauls and these people in the scriptures who left everything, mother, father, friends, loved ones, familiar, and go into the deep. As St. Paul says in the scripture, cast your net into the deep, the unknown, my goodness. And that's what it is about when you migrate, when you leave. It's you casting your net into the unknown. You may have family, friends, one or two people you know in that place, but you are still going in the unfamiliar. Remember, because these people that you know, they're not always going to be with you. If you're fortunate to have a spouse or a loved one with you, well, great, you have company, but that still doesn't mean that when you step out away from them, go to a job, go to a place, go to that you're not stepping into the deep, in the unfamiliar, because you're no longer in the familiar area, the familiar environment that you know. You know, so it's like that. Reminds me of the scripture verse that says, the Lord says, those who leave mother and father and forsake mother and father for my sake, you know, they will have many more mothers and fathers, you could say. The Lord will send people into your courts, into your life. And so there are lots of things that we can learn from that experience of having moved, having traveled, having migrated. And these are just some lessons that I thought that I learned, and I'm still learning, by the way, lots of lessons that I'm learning that I thought I would share with you today. So if you're planning on traveling, if you're planning on migrating, if you're planning on spending some time away from home, even if it's not for a long term or permanent or whatever, remember that you are going to be tested and you have to be prepared to face every test each day anew. It takes a lot. And as I said, there are days you want to fold, there are days you want to quit, and it's natural to feel that way. But always go back to the bigger picture. Always go back to the purpose that you set for yourself. Always go back to the goal. And if it means that you want to fulfill maybe a one obligation that you have made, do it. And if you have to move after that, do it. But the point is, remember the purpose for your existence in that particular place and time. All right. And finally, these are just some few things, as I said, that I wanted to share with you that I've learned in the last 7 months, 7 lessons in the last 7 months that I wanted to share with you. So thank you all for viewing. Thank you all for coming on this channel ever so often. I appreciate it. And I hope to see you again in the next video. May God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Have a wonderful day, whatever it is that you're going through. And stay positive. Remember, your life matters. You're full of value. And so give yourself grace and love as you deserve. God bless you.